Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Claudia Sanchez. This is Erin Singleton. And today we're going to be having our 5th video on the energy of life healing process. If you are new to the energy of life healing process, please check out The Way to Balance. Like and subscribe this video because we really do want this video to go out to as many people as possible so that they can learn how to do their own self-healing or to learn something new from today. So Erin is a medical intuitive. I am also a healer. I communicate with consciousness. And basically what that means is anything that will communicate with me and tell me their story. So whether it's, I work on pets and I work on humans. I can also communicate with anything from viruses to your organs, to your illnesses, everything that is consciousness usually has some sort of a story to tell. So on this note, I'm going to hand it over to Erin and he will introduce himself.
All right. Well, for those of you that are not familiar with me and the work that I do, I've been doing this work since for 30 years. And the energy of life healing process came to me in 1994. That's what we'll be working with. And it is a self-healing process. And it's one of the most basic and simple things that you can do. And what we really want to do is just start with that healing process tonight and let it do its work. And we will kind of fill in the blanks and let you know some of what we have learned over the past couple of years with COVID and with long haulers and everything else, but also new information that we have. As Claudia said, she has the ability to talk to consciousness and she has spoken with COVID. And we can share that information with you. So let's start with the EOL process. Everyone turn your palms up on your lap. So literally palms up, place your palms on your lap. Or if you have an armchair, you can place your forearms on the arms of the chair. And we are going to send the energy of life into your palms. Now, as we send the energy, so we are kind of like, hovering above your hands, sending the energy into your hands. As you feel that energy in your palms, it might be warm or tingly or pulsing or cool, just some sensation that's a little different. Think of your arms like they are straws. As you inhale, draw the energy of life up your arms into your shoulders and your neck and your head. And then exhale it down through your body and out the soles of your feet. Each continuing breath, draw the energy in through your hands, up the arms to the top of your head, and exhale it down through the whole body and out your feet. For most of you, the energy will go through the body in just 2 or 3 breaths. For some of you, you may have some blockages. It may take a little longer. A few more deep breaths is all that takes usually. Some of you will feel it going out your feet, although you don't feel it throughout your body, and that's okay. That's normal. And some of you will not feel it going out your feet, but will feel it going into different places in the body. So as we, keep going here in the next few minutes, some of those blocked areas will start to open up and you'll be able to feel the continual flow through the body. The great thing about this process is the more often you do it, it becomes like second nature, like riding a bike. And with just a couple of breaths, you'll be able to get the energy going through the whole body at any time. All right. So I'm going to start with a little, talk about going back to COVID in the beginning. So early on, when COVID first started,
We just ran into it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Early on when COVID first started, we were seeing the damage to the organs, the glands, We were not aware of the spike protein or anything at that time. And there wasn't any talk about it, let's say, in the media or anywhere at that time. Later on, everyone picked up on it, started talking about COVID, and then long haulers and everything came popular. But we were seeing that type of damage and what it was doing and how it was showing up weeks and months after someone had been exposed quite a while before it was ever, a topic. Now, personally, I got COVID in the early, I would say, weeks of it. So before the state shut down, I already had COVID. And then again, somewhere in the middle of the year, and then later on in 2001, got COVID a third time. Now, the third time I got COVID, it was pretty mild. And I didn't have the awareness of the spike proteins that I have now, and as far as how to do something about them. So 5 months after I had COVID, I ended up with my lungs full of blood clots. And that was the spike protein attacking my body, because once the spike protein gets in your blood, it's going after organs and glands and tissues, weak spots, nerves, whatever, emotional holding patterns that have weakened your body. Now, about that time, of course, I started doing my own research and things and finding out more about it. And I already knew that it was going after weak spots from the very beginning. That was kind of an obvious thing to me. And it continued in my body for another year and a half after that. And then it attacked my eyes. And for some of you, you already know that I have macular degeneration caused by COVID. Now, during that time, I started looking at different sites. National Institute of Health was one of the biggies. It talked about vision damage, pinholes in the lens, macular degeneration, and a half a dozen other things that it did to the eyes alone. A lot of people kind of turned away from science at that time, got kind of upset, but there was a lot of good scientific information out there, and still is, about the organ and gland damage, tissue damage, arteries, veins, heart, everything that was going on then and is still going on now. So I have a number of clients and also some friends that had damage to their heart, and it damaged the sinus node, which is the body's pacemaker. So they had arrhythmias and, all types of erratic heartbeats, had to have their heart shocked or ablated to bring them back into rhythm. Now, many of these things are continuing now as far as people developing diabetes, even though they are not sugar addicts, because it's damaging the pancreas, or it's damaging the thyroid, or it's causing a kidney problem. Actually have a client out in Hawaii right now with heart damage, valve damage, arteries, veins, and it's all from the spike protein. So we are going to give you some great information today on how to help yourself hopefully heal and eliminate the spike protein from your body. Because if you haven't done anything up to now and you've had COVID, it is still there. It's just waiting for an opportunity to attack something, and whatever shows up will not be recognized by most doctors as a symptom of COVID, 2 years after you had it. So that's what we're all about tonight, is to kind of inform you and give you some help, give you some hope. Anything you'd like to share?
I think I'm ready to get into some specifics.
All right.
Okay, so let's see. So the energy of life that I found communicating with it, it has a consciousness where I treat it like a buddy, a friend, where I just ask, do this for me. And one of the things, you can treat the energy of life, and if you're not sure how you should approach it, like what part of your system needs work. You can always say, okay, I activate the energy of life to assist to repair COVID damage for my highest good. So you can leave it vague. We have found that there's value when we are very specific at times, but it will heal if you state it and are not sure. But if you want to break it down to tissues, organs, and glands, you can say clear COVID damage from my brain and my heart, lungs, arteries. So you can get specific in that way. You want to add to that?
Sure. And of course, when we're clearing things from the individual organs, the main thing is we need to do something about the blood, because that's where the protein is in your bloodstream. That's the highway that it's riding on, and it's going all over the place. So sometimes we will have scar tissue and shrinkage of tissue in the heart, the brain, places like that. A lot of people that got brain fog, it was because of shrinkage of tissue in the brain. Also, a lot of people got inflammation in nerves, and that led to a lot of people losing their sense of smell and taste. And for anyone who has symptoms like that and have not recovered, it's because there's still a little bit of inflammation in those nerves. And we can do some reliefs, removal of that inflammation. And matter of fact, why don't we go ahead and do some of that right now? So we're going to start right now with, I do feel that there are some of you that have some inflammation in nerves, and it may not be loss of smell or taste, maybe something else, might be a sensitivity or something. So as of right now, we are starting with removing inflammation from the nerves. Now, the way that we work more with consciousness, work with the energy of our third eye. So you don't have to see us waving our hands around and doing, different types of things, gestures or hand positions or anything like that. Pay attention to your body, pay attention to your nervous system. So if there's any trauma to the nerves, that will come out. And please keep that energy flow going through your body. So that will help to release any of the energetic debris, so to speak, out your body, out the soles of your feet. You don't have to have your shoes off. Just keep the flow going. And for you doing this for yourself, it would be very easy that once you have the flow going, you simply focus on releasing any nerve inflammation from your body. And this, of course, would go for other things. It doesn't have to be just for long haulers. If you have nerve inflammation for any reason at all, this still works. Some people that have Bell's palsy, it's actually because of inflammation in the nerve due to the nerve being stressed.
And for those of you who are not familiar with the EO, with the energy of life healing process, it does take some time, maybe 20 minutes a day, to just flow it through. And the more that you use it, the stronger you'll get. So it's just a matter of being consistent with it. Even if it's 5-10 minutes, just run the flow. But we explain all that in video 1, 2, and you can check those out.
All right, so we're going to go ahead to scar tissue and shrinkage of tissue. So we're still working on the nerve inflammation. We're just adding these two along with it. So the scar tissue, of course, and shrinkage of tissue, the damage to the heart is one of the most obvious things. The other organ and glandular damage, not so obvious, but there's a lot of it. So people that have developed kidney and bladder issues and pancreas issues and things of that nature and gotten a brain fog that won't go away, sometimes it is because of that scar tissue. So there's not a part of the body that the spike protein didn't get to. So we have seen prostate issues with men and cervical issues, uterus, ovaries with women. Of course, lung issues that continue, people with a continual cough and things of that nature. There are some people who've had more muscular type things where all of a sudden it was like they had been carrying 50-pound bags of something around all night long when they got up in the morning, and that's how their backs and bodies were and have stayed that way for the most part. So sometimes that scar tissue and shrinkage needs to be broken up. The scar tissue is a easy concept. We kind of break up the scar tissue, soften it. The shrinkage of tissue is kind of like putting some heat next to some saran wrap and just kind of watching it shrivel a little bit. That's what it looks like. And when I see it in my mind's eye in the body, that it just kind of shrivels up the tissue. And that can be kind of, again, smoothed back out. And then that area of the body, that organ, gland, whatever, can return to normal.
And that's like the intention that you would hold. At first, when Aaron was teaching me this, I don't know what he was talking about, but you can visualize or you can just hold the intention to do it. If you're visual, what's kind of cool when you're visual is that you can actually start seeing it smooth out. And that's always fun. But you can also, you might be able to hear, okay, it's done. But yeah, so smooth it out. I've actually been working on pets lately who have COVID, and one of the dogs that I was working on was completely fogged up in her head, and she didn't know what was going on, and I started getting fogged up in my head, and so I realized she had COVID, and then I explained to her, okay, that fog, and she screamed and said, yes, yes, I can't stand it. I don't know what it is. So she starts telling me, and then I explained to her what it, that I was going to remove it. I wouldn't have been able to move on with the session because it was affecting me that much. So once we removed it, she was just, I mean, tickled pink. I mean, now her mom's telling me like now she's super happy and she didn't realize. So a lot of people don't even realize that their pets have COVID.
Yeah. So the damage to the pets is just like the damage to us. And a lot of people also don't realize how much damage there has been to their children, whether we're talking about, the young grade schoolers all the way up to college, because so many of them got COVID and quote unquote got over it because they were children, but it still did a lot of damage and it is still in their system as far as the spike protein. Vitamin C.
Okay.
All right. Now, one of the things that we have found that can actually get rid of COVID pretty quickly if you get it is vitamin C. And we're not talking about your standard vitamin C from the health food store. To take enough take enough vitamin C to get rid of COVID, you would need to be taking, 15,000 milligrams a day. And that would not be pretty because first off, when you take a lot of vitamin C, you're up peeing all night. And then, of course, all day you're sitting on the toilet because it will definitely clean you out very, very well. So what we discovered was that we could create a vitamin C product that at 15 to 20,000 milligrams that had no effects like that. So vitamin C is the precursor to hydrogen peroxide in the body. So what happens is you take it and your body produces hydrogen peroxide, and that is the thing that goes through you and cleans you out. So we're going to share that with you right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply it ourselves, put a little drop in our palms. So this is like fresh. When we say fresh, we don't even have the labels made yet. And just got a few bottles made up. So as we put the drops in our hands, 1 or 2 drops, rub our palms together. This is how we get it into the body. And it immediately goes in and goes to your heart or your brain or wherever it is that you need the vitamin C. Now, this would be in the same, category as vitamin C, but this is totally energetic and much more powerful. Now, this, of course, vitamin C, is great for elasticity in your veins and arteries. It's great for your heart, brain, things of that nature, lungs. So where you feel it go in your body is where it's doing its work. So we're going to send the vitamin C to you, going to give you a drop in your palm. So literally, we're going to take an energetic drop. All you have to do is decide which palm you'd like it in. So it would be easy if everyone would receive in their right hand. That way we can do everyone together. All right, here we go. We're going to put a drop in your palm, just energetically. Some of you will feel it coming into the palm. Okay, then rub your palms together, just a little brisk rubbing, 2, 3, 4 times. Bring your hands down, relax. See where you feel that energy go in your body. All right, so actually we'd like to get a few comments right here as far as what you feel with that essence of C, we call it.
Now, I notice it might take about a minute to really start feeling it.
So, yes, so some will be immediate and some will take a little bit. So as soon as you do, please comment. Let us know what you feel, where you feel it.
I felt it in the top of my head.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm feeling it in my neck and my head.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, sister. Tammy says, I felt it go to my nose and sinuses. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
I felt it around my heart.
Around the heart. Okay.
Heart.
I felt it in the heart also.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And if we think about the heart, think about the head and these other areas that you may notice it in. And of course, it will be in multiple areas. It tends to go where you need it the most first, then you feel it kind of spread out to other areas. But, if it's going to help with the elasticity of the membrane of the heart itself, this would be, again, where you have some COVID damage, but hasn't shown up yet. But we don't want it to show up. So put a little essence of C in there.
Tammy says that it's now moved into her throat. So this happened to Margaret at the office. Don't panic if it starts to tighten up. It will loosen up. It was working on her thyroid. And so it may very well be working also on your thyroid. When I first took it, it started giving me cramps all over my legs. And I used to walk for 8 hours a day in San Francisco, up the hills, with heels on while I was working. So there was a lot of damage done, and also through waitressing, serving. And so Erin had helped me tune in about how there was so much damage to my veins and stuff. And so it was basically, it literally felt like it was just popping open, like just kind of everything was just stretching out. Another effect you might feel as muscles start loosening up, you may feel some emotion coming up. So that would be also a great time to get the EOL to help move that out. And that is something that I've noticed with vitamin C. Not a whole lot, depends on how much you're holding or where you're holding it, but it is an opportunity to bring things up and let them go. Oh, good. Okay, so Tammy doesn't feel any discomfort. It feels good and soothing. Okay, great. I mentioned that just as, just so you folks know, because that I did get a little bit nervous. I thought it was a little strange to feel so much intensity, but just to let you know, it will eventually just relax. It took me about 20 minutes.
Okay. Now, I mean, we are really intending this to be like a super immune booster. So this is something that, of course, you can take, let's say 2 doses a day would be like, 1 drop in the morning sometime and then another drop in the afternoon. And you just have, you kind of wake your immune system up. And of course, if you come down with something, whether it's a cold or flu, get COVID again or whatever, then you would be using it every, let's say 3 hours. That would give you 4 times a day over a 12-hour span. You could actually do more than that. We did find that even though it's energetic and you're putting it in your palms, it will get you up and get you peeing all night long, just like taking regular vitamin C. So you still have to be careful with it.
Well, what I found is that it levels off after a while. So you may have soft stools because you're detoxifying. That happened to me on the second day. I know that's TMI, but that's what happened. And then it just kind of levels off. So you got to get the toxins out of there somehow. So it does facilitate that, but not to the point that if you had, the actual vitamin C and took that much, that would be just insane. So.
Okay, we've had a little bit more time. Anyone else feel anything else change? What started out in your heart or your head, how is that area now? Okay, what's next?
We go into the, let's see, oh, you're gonna talk about turpentine.
Okay, so
It feels a lot better, my heart area, but I don't really know how to explain it. Before it was feeling kind of tense. I can't explain it, like a tense muscle, but now it feels more relaxed. My heart muscle. Mhm.
okay, great. And again, this is the similar thing to what Claudia was saying about the throat, that sometimes you will get a contraction before you get a relaxation response. And that's just the way it works in the body. But
Okay, great. We got Tammy saying that it's been moving through the body and relieving soreness. I feel tingles in the chest area. Awesome.
great.
Thank
Okay. So, with the little bit of response we're getting here, you still get to understand that doing something like this on a day-to-day routine, it will be of great benefit for you. And that's the main thing is, rebuilding your body after something, as dramatic as COVID, but also this is something that will help you with your immune system for anything.
Okay, turpentine.
All right. Now, one of the things is getting rid of the spike protein. So we do feel that the vitamin C, taken over time, will get rid of it. We don't know how long it would take because what you're looking at is getting your immune system strong enough to identify it so that it goes after it. So one of the things that, people have been doing is taking ivermectin for over a 2.5-month period, let's say, doing a little bit here and there, spacing it out so as not to damage their organs and tissues too much with the ivermectin, kidney, liver damage, things of that nature. And they were saying that would get rid of the spike protein. Now, I have worked with several people that have done that. 2.5 months later, they still had their spike protein. They had reduced levels. Maybe they were 80% better, but it was still there. And if you still have 2% left of the spike protein, it will reproduce and be back in your system. And you've done your ivermectin, you think you're good. And here we go all over again.
And we confirmed it this morning when we had a channeling with the spike protein. And just I had no idea about that. That's something that Aaron has already known. And when I channeled what the spike protein said, I asked specifically if the ivermectin helped. It said it's only a certain percentage, and then of course it will just kind of regrow again. So it can only help for so much.
Now, one sure thing to getting rid of the spike protein, and a lot of people do not like to hear me say this, but it is turpentine. So we have a brand of turpentine that we sell at the office, and going backwards in time a little bit, my grandmother gave me turpentine when I was a child, 5 or 6 years old. It helped get rid of tapeworms. So it's an old home remedy. And even though it is the same thing that takes the paint off the brush, when it's made correctly, it is safe. Now, I can't say that from a medical perspective. I can only say that from me personally taking it, Claudia personally taking it, and there are many people on YouTube that are talking about taking turpentine. There was actually a news interview with a guy they call the turpentine doctor. So when we're taking turpentine, it basically works like a cleansing agent in the body, cleaning up stuff that's not supposed to be there. And the spike protein is not supposed to be there. It literally just kind of, goes after it. And it only took us 3 days to get rid of the spike protein. That was a teaspoon of turpentine in the morning and another one at night. So 6 teaspoons over 3 days. And that was it. So that is the fastest way that we know of to eliminate the spike protein.
Okay. Let's see, we talk about the sun.
Now, also we have been, we talk to a lot of different things when we say we talk to consciousness. So we actually had a conversation with the sun. And the sun was telling us that, for one, it does not cause cancer. That is, the toxins in our bodies that have accumulated and things like that actually cause the cancer. And it may get stimulated by the sun because we're out in it too much. But we also learned that the sun can be used for healing. The sun will heal like 98% of all of our conditions in the body, even cancer. And this is directly from the sun. So we're going to share that with you right now. So we're going to bring the energy of the sun into your bodies, let you feel it, and where it goes and what it does. All right, we're going to bring the energy of the sun in. Some of you will feel the warmth. Some of you will just feel energy. Bring it into your core. Let it spread out through your body, through your extremities.
Suzanne,
So for some of you, the sun's energy will go everywhere pretty immediately. For others, it will kind of sit there at your core, take its time expanding. You may feel it a little stronger in a certain area of the body. And by talking with the sun, we also found that, when we look at the Aztecs, the Incas, the Egyptians, and we say, oh, some of these people, these were sun worshipers. They were not out getting a tan. This is not that type of sun worship. And it's not just praying and, doing sacrifice to the sun. They knew how to get the sun's energy into their bodies and use it for healing. That was the true sun worship. So on Tutankhamun's burial coffin, which is a huge thing in the museum, that you see pictures of it in books, there is a picture of the sun that is all stamped out in gold, and from the sun there are rays of light coming from it, and down at the ends of the rays of light are these little hands. Okay, but these little hands are holding, some of them are holding on to the Egyptian Ankh. So the sun gives life. Okay, and the Ankh itself that is in the hand of the ray of the sun is the energy of life. So that is the symbol for the energy of life. Now that little Ankh on the end was actually coming down to the pharaoh. So it was being fed to the pharaoh. So the sun is feeding the energy of life to the pharaoh. And now you are experiencing that similar thing, let's say. I can't say that it's exactly the same, but the energy of life, the sun coming into your body, stimulating all organs, glands, relaxing muscles, doing all kinds of great things. So let's get a little something from whoever is ready to speak up about what they are noticing with the sun. Okay, come on now. Who's got the sun shining in right now and can talk about it?
Or the sunburn, no.
It just feels very warm and just beautiful and invigorating, invigorating but calming all throughout my whole core and my head. And
Okay,
I love the sun, so it's, yeah,
Just right.
it feels great.
okay.
Thank
It's
you.
just a little different when you're getting it internally versus on the skin, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so we have, I feel fullness. So Tammy's saying she feels fullness in her core area. Oh, another Zoom user, sorry. She feels, okay, very cool. Thank you. Someone else is feeling soothing, vibrating feeling on their face, and that was Tammy. Thank you.
Okay. So the sun has the ability to kill viruses and bacteria and funguses and COVID. So for those of you that are, let's say, proficient at using the energy of life healing process, you will actually be able to pull the energy of the sun into your bodies at any time. You can do this at midnight. It doesn't matter. The sun's energy will still come through. So you would get the EOL flowing through your body first, and then ask the energy of life to bring the energy of the sun into your body.
But definitely ask for whatever's for your highest good, because we find that sometimes we can't use it during a certain period because maybe we have been doing another type of healing. And so it might be too much to do at that time. So we get guided to doing it later. But if you say, I bring in the sun for whatever's for my highest good, it'll stay there for as long as, or it may not come in if it's not for your highest good. So then you just try later on. Especially if you get sick, if you get some sort of fungus or parasite or, and we're not saying to not go to your doctor, we're not claiming that, but we are saying that this could be used in conjunction.
Yeah. So anyone else, what are you feeling? Now, one of the things I always tell people, that the sun has many different frequencies. So the visible spectrum, the lights, the color that we see is very small. And then we have all the microwaves and, all the different ones that we can't see. But I believe that there are frequencies of the sun that are known, And there are many that are unknown. I don't think our equipment has the ability to measure all those frequencies as of yet. But we can go on our own intuition and ability to feel or to know what is going on in the body. So anyone have anything more specific as far as feeling the sun, specific areas, organs, glands of that nature, or just, and sometimes it's even cool. It doesn't have to be warm. So
I feel a warmth in my chest area, and I feel it flowing out my arms and my palms of my hand.
okay, great.
And I feel a sense of euphoria. You know, all while I was doing it, I was smiling.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a very nurturing feeling.
Mhm.
Well, that's the beauty about the energy of life healing process. You can bring the sun in. And yeah, we're pretty excited to find that out. That was like about a month ago.
Yeah, and for all of you that are going to Egypt with us, we will be playing with the sun when we're over there, that's for sure.
So now we're gonna, because this is a short 1 hour, we're gonna talk about, let's see here, the consciousness of COVID. So one of the things through the channeling when we were communicating, was that COVID has a consciousness. And that was a real big surprise. And when I spoke to it, it's always a little weird to talk to viruses. I gotta be honest, I'm not used to that yet, but it has a certain frequency and it sounds very odd when it comes out of my voice, but it gives us information to understand it and to know how to approach it for healing within our bodies. So what we're going to be doing today is we're actually going to, let's just tune in how many people have the consciousness so far in this group that's here. 8.
10.
Okay. So
So most of you have the consciousness in your bodies right now.
So what does that mean? It means that, let's say, okay, the COVID is gone, and the consciousness has a frequency, and the frequency sets it up so that it kind of attracts. And Aaron might be better. I'm not channeling now, but when I'm channeling, it always comes out really nice. But can you? I don't know how you can explain this.
As long as the consciousness of COVID is there, it can attract more COVID. It can, let's say, cause you to have other health problems because the consciousness, it has a consciousness to do harm. And that's why we want to get it out of the body.
Yeah, so let's do that now. So, so we're doing setting the frequency, or we're just gonna,
Well, that's for the film.
that's for the film, okay. So we set the intention to remove all of COVID consciousness of those that are not only here, but those that will be watching.
Now, some of you may feel or sense like an energy lift off or out of your body. That is the consciousness leaving.
It's truth.
Not too left. No, clear.
It's one fast.
All right. Doesn't take much, just some real good focus of energy. Some of you would be able to clear it using the EOL process. First thing is you have to have the awareness that it's there to know what to go after. All right. And then the next thing is we discovered that there is a film kind of like a biofilm, but it's not a biofilm. It's more of an energetic film left by COVID that is around your organs and glands and brain, and things of that nature, that kind of acts like an antenna. And radio frequencies and things kind of activate it, stimulate it. And again, it can cause harm. So we want to release that from your bodies as well. Now, with that, we discovered that the frequency of 875 hertz to 895 hertz was the ideal range for breaking that up and releasing it. So we're going to send that to you right now. 875 to 895 hertz.
On the list.
And again, it doesn't take much to break this up and get rid of it. But if you don't know it's there, again, then you don't know what to look for and don't even have a clue.
We're down to 8. I get 8. You get 6. It's going down.
Well, 6. Again, with this film, you may be aware of, a little bit of clearing in your brain, a little lightness around your heart or somewhere else.
So for some of you who might be like extremely sensitive to energy, you might notice that you might get a lot of pain, like pain in your head, or you might get angry really, really easily. This film was a contributor of it. And I mean, it's a little embarrassing to talk about, but honestly, I would get so furious, and it can take the emotions that you already have and amplify it. So if you're saying, oh, well, I'm never angry, but it is in your field. So it could be stuff that you picked up when you were a child, and you could have anger, sadness, fear, guilt from when you were, from your parents or whatnot. And so that's still in your energetic fields. And so this film really can intensify it, like Aaron said, like an antenna, and it can make you feel like you're going kind of mad, really. So if you felt strange headaches at certain times, or notice a difference since you've gotten COVID, this might really help you.
Yeah, for some of you, it is a contributor to the brain fog that many people have complained about. All right, so again, since we've done the film and everything here, let's get a couple of comments if you noticed it clearing.
Or if you have any comments about the let's see, what was the one that we did, the consciousness, any feedback on the consciousness, or the film. Okay, so Tanya was feeling very heavy and sleepy while it was working through me. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it doesn't want to leave you. It just wants,
Yeah.
it wants to stay.
The consciousness really wants to hang out with you.
Yeah. Okay. Zoom user. I feel lightheaded. Okay.
Okay.
That's a really.
And sometimes the lightheadedness is because it has just released, and you actually start getting more blood and oxygen flowing to your brain. All right, anyone else before we move on?
So another thing that you can do with the energy of life regarding, well, regarding COVID and regarding COVID damage and regarding anything else is you can also do a decompression of your cranium bones. And I seem to be doing a lot of that with pets that have had that have COVID damage. And it's when you have the COVID damage, it tightens things up. And that is a great instruction that you can give the energy of life healing process to decompress your cranium bones. I had one dog the other day in relief. It was going, oh, that feels so good. and I knew I was doing good because the dog was telling me that it was who had been with massive COVID damage.
So the one thing you have to understand, when she asked the questions of the dogs and cats answer through her voice. So
Ah!
she's kind of like talking to herself, but it's really the animal speaking through her.
And sometimes Aaron's around like listening to this and he'll ask the pet something, but it's hysterical. I mean, animals they'll tell on you. They'll tell on you. They'll say, tell mom to stop worrying, or they'll say, I don't know. And then of course the parents will confirm and say that's really weird, but that's true. And but yeah, animals are pretty awesome. They are watching you and reading your minds more than you know, and feeling everything that you feel. So
all right. Anyone else? Any comment before we move on?
yeah. Yeah, like another 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Maybe take it to Q&A.
Do some of that, man.
Okay, question answers. Okay. So if there isn't any, there was a question regarding the turpentine from Suzanne.
All right, Suzanne. I actually get turpentine from a company out of Georgia called Diamond G. So it's diamond with just a big G, diamondg.com, I believe it is.
We also sell it at the office, so if you want to get it from us, you can, or you can get it from them. So just know that you have those options. I think we're a little closer to you.
All right.
All right. So now what we're gonna do, we have a little bit of time left. If you folks have any questions, it could be about.
Now try to keep it about COVID.
Okay, we'll try to keep it about COVID, but it may be still related because they may not know.
Yeah. So if you have some symptoms of any kind, since you've had COVID, I don't care if it was a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, let's throw that out there and let's see what we can help you with.
Brain fog for me.
Brain fog? How long have
Oh
you?
yeah, brain fog. Yes, it seemed like it has gotten worse. Probably around the time of the COVID, when COVID started, and forgetness. I mean, I forget a lot. Just little things.
Okay, and you still have that now, you're saying?
Yes, I still have that now.
Yes,
That is mostly COVID.
MMA frequencies.
So there's a combination of COVID damage and man-made frequencies. So man-made frequencies are, the EMF, the Wi-Fi, the wireless in your home, things of that nature, but also satellites that are beaming in, signals down from up there, and they're coming directly through your house and into your head and body. So we do find that has been the sensation, the awareness of that was enhanced by COVID when it put this film around the brain. So with the film gone right now, we would look for some of that to clear up.
And you can give the instruction to remove all man-made frequencies.
Yes, you can tell that or ask the EOL process to remove all man-made frequencies. See if that clears your head up.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, we have some questions here. Let's see. Okay, Ricky, about dripping nose.
Okay. Ricky, I don't see that related to COVID, but let's say I am seeing all the way up in the top of your head, you have cranial sinuses, Most people are not aware of them. There is some congestion up through here. Ask the OL process to open up those cranial sinuses for you.
Mhm.
That should do it.
Let's see, Suzanne wants to know, do the shots also have the same frequency as COVID virus?
Okay, so the shots, no, the shots do not have the same frequency as the COVID virus. They have their own way of damaging things, and one of them is, I think, a graphene, a graphite powder like that was in the Pfizer vaccines that did a lot of damage to people. Some of the information on that is just coming out, being made public. But it damaged the immune system, the vaccines did. So there is immune system suppression due to the chemicals in the vaccine. So that's why the vitamin C would be very important to, support and get your immune system back up.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, Suzanne. Okay. She's just thanking us for the turpentine. Okay, so Tammy says she's noticed issues with her eyes after getting COVID a few years ago. Doctor diagnosed her with a screen thing. Okay, myobian gland.
Myobian gland.
Dysfunction. Skin under the eyes is a bit swollen. Looks like swollen creases.
Okay. Again, use the EOL process, ask it to repair the damage done by COVID to that gland and repair the gland, tissue damage under the eyes. So the EOL process is going to do most of what we need for this. That's why we feel it's like, really important that everyone do it on a regular basis. It's one of the things you can do for yourself, 15 minutes in the morning before you even get out of bed, or do it as you are, in the bed before you go off to sleep. Those are two convenient times. It doesn't take much, but, be consistent.
Yep. And also Ellen says that she also has dripping nose and congestion.
Okay. Wow. Okay, Ellen, your same thing right up through the the cranial sinuses. Again, ask the energy of life process to open and clear those sinuses for you. I don't see any other problem with that. Nothing no cranial bones or anything like that that need decompressing. It's more just clear the sinuses.
Barry wants to know how much vitamin C and how often.
Okay. Now remember, you could not take enough of regular vitamin C that you would, be taking internally, because after you get up past 6,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, it turns into a laxative big time. So with the with the one that we have available, it's going to be a drop in the palm. You can do that like 4 times a day, every 3 hours. You can do it every 2.5 hours if you really have something going on. Because it's not going in, it's going transdermal, it's going energetically into the system. I don't know what the limit would be, but I would say 5 times a day for our essence of C.
So our questions end. Is there anyone else with a question?
The turpentine is a teaspoon twice a day for 3 days?
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of like somebody made the gin in their bathtub. It's a little rough, but it works.
Anyone else?
Oh, and by the way, for those of you that will, use the turpentine in that way, you can mix it with olive oil, like a tablespoon of olive oil to a teaspoon of the turpentine. That will cut the taste for those of you that don't like strong taste, because it does taste like you're chewing on a pine, handful of pine needles. So that can be a little rough. There's also some people that will use sugar in the form of maple syrup or honey, mix it in with that a little bit. I just find that that makes my maple syrup taste terrible. So I just go ahead and take a little bit and be done with it, and maybe you know, take a little piece of sugar cane or something afterwards to kind of get the taste out of my mouth. You know, if you were ever given cod liver oil as a child, and you get that cod liver oil taste in your mouth and you're still belching it up 3 hours later, that's kind of what it can be like with turpentine. So you want something to kind of follow it down.
How's everybody feeling? Relaxed?
Yeah, what's your overall sense of things right now? Is that you've gotten the vitamin C, you've gotten the sun, you've gotten the film cleared, and consciousness cleared. What do you notice that's different?
Now, some of you
More
might,
energetic.
oh, sorry.
More
Myra, go-
energetic. Yes, I feel more energetic.
Okay, good.
Good,
Yeah, yeah. Than when I first started. Yeah.
good. Someone, oh, good. Ricky says he's more tranquil. Excellent. Thank you, Ricky. Tammy says tiredness from my day is gone, but I'm also very relaxed and happy. Awesome.
Great.
Well, we did find that Margaret has been getting a lot more energy off of the vitamin C. Margaret is, for those of you who don't know, she's our office manager at the Way to Balance. And it does give her a lot of pep. So we've also noticed it with our energy levels. So you might notice that, which is nice. Okay, well, it's 8:15, and I think we're good. Anyone else with one last question? Or?
Yeah, question, comment, because otherwise we're gonna end this and see what we can come up with next.
Oh, we got someone here. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Suzanne. All right, folks, thank you so much thank you for being here and sharing and learning. Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
thank you so much.
And good night.
Good night.